Hey YouTube, it's Monday, and today we're going to talk about, well, legends. And in this case we're going to talk about the legendary Osama bin Laden. Yes, I know everybody's talking about Osama bin Laden, but that's okay. Because I'm not talking about how Osama bin Laden is dead. I'm talking about his past. Now, Osama bin Laden didn't actually start off all that bad. He's from a prominent Saudi family, very rich, very affluent. He has 3 step-siblings, a sister. It's a nice life, more or less. He went to the university. There are several degrees that Wikipedia, so several sources say that he may have gotten a degree in, but in his 3rd year he dropped out and he went off to Afghanistan to fight against the Soviets. He joined the Mujahideen. Pardon me if I'm saying it incorrectly. And this is where he got his core training. The CIA actually funded the Taliban in the 80s to get rid of the Soviet Union with their invasion of Afghanistan. From there, this highly trained man in just jihad, he went on to found Al-Qaeda. He went on to first be a supporter of the United States and being supported by the United States, to being an enemy of the United States, namely after 1990 when Saudi Arabia refused his aid, the aid of Al-Qaeda fighters against Iraq in Saudi Arabia, and instead took the US military. And Osama was outraged. He was just outraged. And then from then on, he started focusing his attacks on not Muslims and not on Soviets, but on the Western world. From there we have attacks that were planned in Sudan and Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan that were against several USS naval units, against embassies in Kenya. There were several ideas of an embassy in Jordan. It keeps going and going and going until we get to September 11th, which you probably all know about, unless you're 5. But he does not stop there. All Al-Qaeda planned activities are essentially linked back to him or are given credit by him as to give him more credence. So you have the bombings in Bali, the bombings of the hotels in India. He gets around. Osama knew what he was doing. Osama had a plan. Osama was trained by us. So this was essentially us cleaning up what we did. And it's a shame we had to do it. I'm not saying that the Afghans had to continue to live underneath Soviet rule, although we both, for the most part, we know that Afghanistan was not better because the Soviets left. Not with the Taliban in control. Not with the atrocities that occurred afterwards. If you doubt me on this, I urge you to read. They are fiction books, I'll give you that. They're very much so historical fiction. You have Kite Runner and 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. If you don't believe me about the atrocities that were caused by the Taliban, who were in cahoots with Osama bin Laden, who followed the same ideological pattern, that Afghanistan was the only Islamic nation because they followed strict Sharia law. Read the books. Find out. But that's our Legendary Monday. I'm sorry this isn't as upbeat as it could be. But this is a legend that has to be dealt with because he really is legendary. Whether it's a good legend or a bad legend. He's definitely a very prominent political figure, an ideological figure of our time. And now that he is dead, he is a legend. Not quite a myth, but a legend. I'll see you tomorrow.